Up till now, it's been a fairly international show, but that was some pure West Coast melodic emo right there, and pretty catchy. Tony Bucci leads the band Broken Field Runner. That was off their third album, Runner, and the song was called Save You. Before that, we heard some dream pop goodness from Dunedin, New Zealand's Mild Orange, also off its third album. That one was called Looking for Space, with a song called Oh Yeah. Before that was Dublin singer-songwriter Sierra Mary Alice Thompson, familiarly known as CMAT, with Lonely off her debut record If My Wife Knew, spelled N-E-W, I'd Be Dead. Martin Young of O Music says of it, exuberance, sheer confidence, and innate understanding of just what makes pop special provide a stunning entry into a distinct and idiosyncratic world. And she's a fascinating artist in that she wasn't planning to be a singer, but one day went to a concert and decided, was just so blown away, she decided, I want to be a musician. And not just a musician, she brands herself pretty much as a pop superstar, as the biggest pop superstar in the world. I don't know if it's genuine, I don't know if it's ironic, but it is what it is. And she creates kind of goofy videos, like little Christmas videos. And in contrast to that, her music is not goofy at all. It's kind of dark, it's almost like Patsy Cline, but a more modern feel to it. It's somber and it's shimmering, and it's quite stunning, actually. But anyway, she's called CMAT. Her real name is Sierra Mary Alice Thompson, and that was Lonely. And we started off with the high watermarks with Jenny. I'm Jason Thurston, and this has been the first half of 133 minutes. Owen Bryan is up next with some deeper, darker, often brighter cuts. 133 minutes is the new music showcase for sUBject Radio, itself in turn the radio arm of sUBject Media, a source for podcasts, radio, features, and reviews, with an emphasis on, but not limited to, the University of Buffalo and the Buffalo metro area. My last set of music may be my favorite yet, with a psychedelic Furzist track from San Francisco's The Reds, Pinks, and Purples, led by Glenn Davidson, and some new music from Vermont singer-songwriter Anais Mitchell. But first we have the crazy story of how an indie rock band's obscure B-side 20 years later would become one of the band's most popular songs, to the point that the band created its first video in 23 years to promote it. As chronicled in Stereogum, recently, Pavement frontman Stephen Malkmus wandered into a Portland coffee house to hear a familiar song he just could not quite place. That is until he recognized his own vocals. Harness Your Hopes was originally a last-minute cut from the removal from the band's 1997 record, Brighten the Corners. In 1999, it finally appeared on the EP for the single Spit on a Stranger, but those EPs are fairly obscure and only really bought by major fans. So how did it wind up with almost 70 million spins on Spotify? 40 million more than the band's 1994 MTV Heavy Rotation and alternative top 10 hit, Cut Your Hair? Well, no one really knows for sure, but the likely culprit was the streaming service's algorithm and a 2017 change in its autoplay settings, which made it more likely to kick in unless the user disabled it manually. The prevailing theory is that since the algorithm used a multitude of stylistic features to try to match to users' libraries, this song was just close enough to many songs in enough people's catalogs that it came up frequently as an autoplay. That was until people started to add it on its own merit, simply because it showed up on playlists or they liked it and it was at the top of the Pavement's page. While the idea of zombie hits is a bit of a Black Mirror dystopian thing on its surface, Harness Your Hopes is the best case scenario, with its deft, typically Malkmus wordplay and appealing melodies. So it's about the best you can get for robots picking your tunes. Also lucky for us, Pavement released a music video for it, as mentioned, to promote the 25th anniversary re-release of Brighten the Corners, and it's pretty damn cool. It features actress Sophie Thatcher, best known as the young version of Juliette Lewis's Natalie on the TV series Yellow Jackets. She's essentially touring the history of Pavement videos, going from set to set, from like the barbershop of Cut Your Hair to like the headless bit in Shady Lane. Anyway, we're going to play Pavement's Harness Your Hopes. This has been Jason Thurston. We're hoping we got the formula right so that I will still be Jason Thurston when I turn off the camera. But stay tuned either way for Owen Bryant. First, here's Pavement with Harness Your Hopes on sUBject Radio's 133 Minutes. Thank you so much for listening.